My roommate added me to our building group chat to expose me. Then, I sent one screenshot. She thought everyone would believe I was the dirty, broke roommate dodging rent, but the receipt I posted made the whole building go silent before her own boyfriend exposed the rest. Original post: my roommate tried to ruin me in our apartment building group chat at 7:12 in the morning. Not in private. Not with a normal text. She added me to a group chat called Apartment 4B Issue with our landlord, our downstairs neighbors, 3 people from our floor, and even the guy who ran the building's package room. Then she wrote, "I'm sorry to involve everyone, but I can't keep covering for Nora anymore. She hasn't paid rent, she leaves trash everywhere, and I don't feel safe living with someone this unstable." I was standing in my kitchen in Raleigh, North Carolina, wearing one sock, holding a half-burnt bagel and trying to understand why my phone suddenly had 27 notifications. My name is Nora. I was 26 at the time, working as a physical therapy assistant at a clinic near Wake Med. My roommate, Madison, was 27 and worked as a social media coordinator for a local boutique. We had been roommates for almost 11 months, not best friends, not enemies. Just 2 people splitting a 2-bedroom apartment because rent was $1,860 a month and neither of us wanted to live with 4 strangers from Facebook Marketplace. At least, that was what I thought. Madison was the kind of roommate who seemed fun in small doses. She had cute candles, matching glass cups, a ring light in the living room, and a way of saying "girl," no worries that made everything feel casual until she wanted something. The problem started small. She would forget to replace toilet paper. She would leave oat milk cartons empty in the fridge. She would say she was Venmoing me for utilities, right now, then send it 3 days later with a sparkle emoji like that fixed it. I was not perfect either. Sometimes I left my work shoes by the door. Sometimes I fell asleep with laundry in the dryer. Sometimes after a 12-hour shift, I did not want to make conversation about Madison's latest situationship, but I paid bills. Every single time. So when she accused me in front of half our building, my first reaction was not even anger. It was confusion. I scrolled up. Madison had posted photos. One was of the kitchen trash overflowing. One was of dishes in the sink. One was a screenshot of a rent reminder from our landlord, Mr. Bell, saying, "Please confirm payment for 4B by end of day." Then she wrote, "I've tried to handle this privately, but Nora keeps ignoring me and now I'm scared we'll both get evicted." The chat exploded. Our downstairs neighbor Amber wrote, "Wait, is this why we've been smelling garbage?" A guy from 4A wrote, "That's messed up." Madison replied, "I didn't want drama, I just need accountability." That word made me laugh out loud, accountability, from Madison. The same Madison who had once hidden 3 bags of takeout behind the balcony chair because she did not want to walk them to the trash room. I opened my banking app. I took one screenshot, then I sent it. It showed my Zelle transfer to Madison from 6 days earlier, $930. Memo, April rent half. Confirmed. Then I sent another screenshot. My Venmo payment for utilities, $146.72. Memo, electric plus water, paid. Then I typed, "Madison, why are you telling people I didn't pay rent when I sent you my half last week?" The chat went silent. For exactly 18 seconds, then Mr. Bell, our landlord, wrote, "Madison, I only received a partial rent payment from your account. Nora is not listed as unpaid on my end because the rent was routed through you per your roommate arrangement." Amber wrote, "Oh." The guy from 4A wrote, "Yikes." Madison immediately called me. I declined. She called again. I declined again. Then she texted me privately. "Why would you embarrass me like that?" I stared at my phone. She had added me to a building group chat to call me broke, dirty, and unstable, but I had embarrassed her. I typed, "Come home and explain where my rent money went." She did not answer. Instead, she posted in the group chat again. "There's more to the story. I'm at work and can't get into it right now." That was her first mistake, because 10 minutes later, her boyfriend Tyler joined the chat, and he did not come to defend her. Update: One Tyler was not even supposed to know me well. He was Madison's on and off boyfriend from Cary, the kind of guy who always showed up wearing gym shorts and carrying an energy drink. He was polite enough, but mostly stayed in her room or sat in our living room watching basketball highlights while Madison made TikToks beside him. I had never had a real conversation with him beyond, "Hey, and can you move your car?" So when Tyler's name popped up in the building group chat, I thought he was about to back Madison up. Instead, he wrote, "Madison, stop. You told me Nora paid you." My kitchen went completely quiet. Even the bagel smoke felt dramatic. Madison replied almost instantly. "Tyler, stay out of this." He wrote, "No. You blamed her to cover your own mess. I'm not doing this again." That one word changed the temperature of the whole chat. Amber replied again. Mr. Bell wrote, "I need clarification immediately." Madison stopped typing. Then Tyler sent a screenshot. It was from his texts with Madison 2 nights before. Madison had written, "I used Nora's rent money for the boutique pop-up fee. I'll replace it Friday. Don't judge me." Tyler had replied, "That's literally rent." Madison had written, "It's 1 week. She makes everything so serious." I had to sit down, because that was not just a lie. That was theft dressed up as inconvenience. The boutique pop-up was something Madison had been talking about for months. She sold thrifted outfits online and wanted to get a booth at some weekend event downtown. She kept saying it was going to change everything, and that one viral weekend could turn her side hustle into a brand. Apparently, my rent money had become her business investment. The group chat went insane. Amber wrote, "So the trash photos were a distraction." Someone named Jordan from 3C wrote, "This is actually crazy." The package room guy wrote, "Why am I in this chat?" I should have stopped there. A mature person might have stopped. But I was shaking with anger, and Madison had not just lied. She had tried to make me look unsafe in my own building. So I went to the kitchen trash. The photo she had posted was real, but it was cropped. I took a wider photo. In the full picture, the trash bag had a shipping label on top addressed to Madison. There were empty pressed juice bottles she bought, a pile of boutique clothing tags, and 3 takeout containers from the sushi place she ordered from constantly. Then I sent it to the chat. I wrote, "Since we're doing accountability, this is the full trash photo." Amber sent, "Oop." Tyler wrote, "Madison, seriously." Then Madison finally texted me privately. "Nora, delete the screenshots. You're making me look like a criminal." I replied, "You made yourself look like someone who spent rent money." She wrote, "I was going to pay it back." I wrote, "After you called me unstable to the landlord." She did not answer that. Then she switched tactics. She posted a long message in the group chat saying she had been under pressure, that her mom was sick, that her job had cut her hours, and that she panicked because I was hard to talk to. That part almost worked, because people soften when someone says they are struggling. And I get it. Life is expensive. Everyone is one emergency away from becoming someone they do not recognize. But Madison did not say, "I'm sorry I lied." She said, "I'm sorry this became public," which was wild because she made it public. Then Mr. Bell wrote, "I need both tenants to come to the leasing office at 5 p.m. today." My stomach dropped because I knew what that meant. This was no longer just embarrassing. This was rent, lease, and housing territory. At 4:30, I left work early. My supervisor, Lauren, saw my face and asked if I was okay. I said, "Roommate stuff," and she said, "That phrase never means anything normal." She was right. When I got to the leasing office, Madison was already there. She looked completely different from her group chat voice. No confidence. No accountability speech. No, I don't want drama. Just red eyes, messy bun, oversized hoodie, and Tyler standing outside near the vending machine like he wanted to disappear through the floor. Mr. Bell sat us down. He was in his 50s, calm and deeply tired in the way only landlords who manage young tenants can be. He said, "I'm not here to mediate personal conflict. I'm here because rent is incomplete." Madison immediately said, "I can pay Friday." Mr. Bell said, "You said that last month too." My head snapped toward her. "Last month," I said, What does that mean? Mr. Bell looked at me, then at Madison. Madison stared at her shoes. He opened a folder and said, "There have been 2 delayed payments in the last 4 months. Because the full rent is paid from Madison's account, my office contacted her directly." I felt stupid. Not because I had done anything wrong, because I had been sending money on time and assuming adulthood was happening on the other side. It was not. Madison had been using me as a financial cushion for months. Update 2, the strongest twist came later that night. After the leasing office meeting, Madison and I walked back to the apartment in total silence. Mr. Bell had given us 48 hours to complete the rent balance. If not, late fees would start and both of us would be responsible because both names were on the lease. That was the part that made me furious. Madison had spent the money, but the consequences had both our names on them. When we got inside, she shut the door and said, "I need you to stop acting like I ruined your life." I looked at her like she had spoken another language. I said, "You used my rent money." She said, "Temporarily." I said, "You accused me publicly." She said, "Because I was scared." I said, "Of what?" She finally snapped. "Of looking like a failure, Nora. You don't get it. You have your little clinic job and your meal-prepped lunches and your perfect payment history. Some of us are trying to build something bigger." That was the first honest thing she had said all day, and somehow it made me angrier, because she did not regret hurting me. She resented that I was stable enough to be useful. I said, "My clinic job pays for the roof you almost lost." She rolled her eyes. Then my phone buzzed. It was a message from someone I barely knew, Madison's friend Brianna. Brianna had been over a few times for wine nights and closet cleanouts. She was loud, pretty, and always filming something for Instagram. Her message said, "I know this is awkward, but Madison is telling people you're trying to sabotage her business. I think you should see this." Then she sent a screen recording from Madison's private close friend story. I hit play. Madison was in her car crying, not real crying, camera crying. She said, "It's crazy when you try to chase your dreams and someone close to you wants to humble you so bad. Like imagine helping someone have a place to live and they turn around and try to destroy your reputation." My mouth fell open. Then the next slide showed my name, not my full legal name, but enough. Nora from 4B really thought she ate by posting screenshots. The next slide was a poll. Should I tell the full story? Yes. Absolutely. I felt heat rush up my neck because the building group chat had been bad. This was worse. This was her trying to turn me into content. I sent the recording to Tyler and wrote, "Are you seeing this?" He replied, "I'm done." Then he sent me something that changed everything. It was a photo of Madison's laptop screen. A spreadsheet. At first, I did not understand what I was looking at. Then I zoomed in. It was a budget sheet for her boutique pop-up. Line items included booth fee, clothing inventory, Canva ads, influencer gifts, hotel room, gas, lashes, nails, emergency rent delay. Emergency rent delay. $930. My exact rent half. She had planned to delay replacing my money. Not panicked, not one-time mistake. Planned. I walked out of my room holding my phone. Madison was sitting on the couch, scrolling like she had not just set our apartment on fire. I said, "Emergency rent delay." Her face went blank. I turned the phone around. She stood up fast. "Tyler sent you that," I said. "That's what you're worried about," she said. "He had no right going through my laptop." I laughed. I actually laughed because my brain could not process the level of deflection. I said, "You made a budget category for stealing my rent." She said, "Don't use that word." I said, "What word would you prefer? Borrowing without consent, financial surprise." She started crying then, not the car story crying, real crying. She said she felt behind. She said everyone her age was building brands, buying houses, getting engaged, going viral, or moving up. She said she was tired of being just a roommate. She said the pop-up was supposed to prove she could do something, and for one small second, I saw the human under the chaos. A scared person, a desperate person, a person who confused attention with progress. But then she said, "And you made everyone turn against me." That sentence closed the door again. I said, "No, Madison, you invited everyone in." At 9:18 that night, she posted again on her close friend's story. This time, she did tell the full story, or her version of it. She said I was jealous, controlling, obsessed with money, and trying to ruin her because I did not have dreams outside of my job. Then she posted a screenshot of our apartment door. That was when things stopped being funny. Because now people knew where we lived. Within 30 minutes, someone messaged me on Instagram calling me bitter. Then another account commented on an old photo of mine, "Pay your own rent." I screenshotted everything. Not because I wanted police or court or some dramatic ending, because I was learning very quickly that messy people rewrite history in real time, and receipts are the only language chaos respects. The next morning, I went back to Mr. Bell. I showed him the payment proof, the group chat, the story screenshot with our door and the budget sheet. He did not look surprised, just tired. He said, "I can't remove her from the lease without process, but I can document the disturbance and allow you to transfer to another available unit if you choose." There was a smaller one-bedroom opening downstairs, more expensive, $14–20 a month. It would be tight. No more casual Target runs, no more takeout after late shifts, no more pretending my savings account was healthier than it was, but it would be mine. I said, "I'll take it." Final update: the final explosion happened on moving day. I did not announce I was leaving. I did not make a dramatic post. I did not tell Madison's friends, her boyfriend, or the building chat. I just signed the transfer paperwork, paid the deposit with money I had been saving for a used car down payment, and asked my brother Evan to help me move my things one floor down. Madison found out when she came home from work and saw my mattress leaning against the hallway wall. She froze by the elevator. Then she said, "So you're really abandoning me with the lease?" I said, "I'm transferring through the landlord. You'll get a new roommate or figure it out." She said, "You know I can't afford this place alone." I said, "I know, that's why spending rent money was a strange choice." Evan tried not to laugh. Madison glared at him and said, "This is none of your business." He said, "You made it a building-wide business." That line traveled faster than my furniture. By the time we moved the couch downstairs, the group chat was alive again. But this time, I had not started it. Amber had posted, "For anyone following 4B, Madison just asked Nora why she's abandoning her after spending Nora's rent money. I'm sorry, but this is cinema." The guy from 4A wrote, "Season finale." The package room guy wrote, "Please remove me from this chat, but also what happened." Then Tyler posted one final message. "I paid the remaining rent balance because I co-signed Madison's pop-up loan like an idiot and I don't want Nora affected anymore. Madison and I are done. Nora paid her share. Leave her alone." That was the moment the room flipped completely. Not because I begged people to believe me, not because I made a speech, because every person who had joined the pile on finally saw the pattern. Madison did not just make one mistake. She built a whole stage, dragged me onto it, and got mad when the lights turned on her. After that, her public crying stopped. Her close friend's story disappeared. The poll disappeared. The post about dream killers disappeared. But screenshots do not disappear from people's phones. By Sunday night, Brianna messaged me again. She said, "I'm sorry." I believed her at first because she made it sound like you were bullying her. I wanted to be gracious. I wanted to say, "It's okay." But it was not okay. So I wrote, "I appreciate the apology, but next time ask questions before joining someone's audience." She replied, "That's fair." Madison never apologized properly. She sent one text 2 weeks later. "I hope you're happy. I lost Tyler, the pop-up was a disaster, and everyone thinks I'm some horrible person." I stared at it for a while. Then I typed, "I hope you learn the difference between consequences and cruelty." Then I blocked her. Living alone was harder than I expected. The first month, I ate a lot of rice bowls and frozen vegetables. I picked up extra Saturday shifts. I sold a chair and a coffee table on Facebook Marketplace. My apartment echoed because I did not have enough furniture to fill it. But every night when I locked my door, the silence felt clean. No ring light in the living room. No trash being staged for photos. No wondering if my money had gone where it was supposed to go. No waking up to find my name being dragged through a group chat by someone who smiled at me the night before. A few months later, I ran into Amber in the mailroom. She said Madison had moved out after the lease ended. Apparently, she found another roommate across town and was already posting about protecting her peace. We both laughed, but not in a cruel way. More like two people who had survived a very stupid storm. Sometimes I still think about that morning. The one sock, the burnt bagel, the group chat, the way my whole reputation almost shifted before I had even finished breakfast. And the lesson I took from it was simple. When someone tries to expose you with half the story, do not panic. Just show the missing half. Because people who live on performance usually forget that proof has no filter. And if you are ever tempted to stay quiet because you do not want drama, remember this: defending yourself is not drama when someone else built the stage. Sometimes peace is not staying silent. Sometimes peace is moving one floor down, changing your lock, paying your own bills, and never letting someone turn your life into content again. If this story hit close to home, subscribe for more stories like this. Like and share it with someone who needs to hear it, and comment whether you've ever dealt with a roommate like this or what you think I should have done.